Setting goals and going for it. I was listening to Jordan Peterson yesterday, and he was talking about Marxism and why it doesn't work. And it was quite funny seeing the arguments from other people, because sometimes people are very anti-success, in the sense that human nature, you will always have people at the top here, which will be your 3%, 1%, or whatever, whether it's in science, finance, whatever. It's not about fairness. Ultimately, there is reasons they get to that level. And the problem you get with a lot of this thing is everyone is equal, which is something we're often battling against, because equality is, the way it's being defined, is complete nonsense, because it's not about outcome or even ability. But at the same time, when you're along this curve, it doesn't mean that you're never going to reach there. The point is, one of the biggest things that you can do is actually set goals, and that's the thing I want to make a point on. Now, goals themselves can make a huge difference in people's lives, and a lot of people simply don't do it. I mean, you look at somebody that sits in the same job for 25 years. They have their lunchbox, they have their process, they basically accepted that's where they are in life, and if they're happy doing it, it's fine. At the same time, if you want to change something, you will need to set goals. My personal one is I do a lot of stuff on training courses, and a lot of the training courses I do are marked down for 2 years, and I'll do them in 3 or 4 months. The reality is, a lot of the courses are designed for people that don't really spend a lot of time doing their courses, so they stretch them out. You can do a lot of them in 3 or 4 months, because you commit to it. You do your weekends on it, you do your evenings on it, and you focus on getting the course finished. Because it could mean a pay raise, it could mean a better job, it could mean whatever you want. It may be something you actually just enjoy doing, which makes it even easier to do. But the point is, you set the goal and go for it. Now, if you look at a lot of the people that do mentoring, they often find a moment in their life that is very pinnacle. There's some of the ones out there relating to finance. They will tell you that there was a certain minute where the car was repossessed, the house was repossessed, or something. That was that pinnacle moment where they says, this is never going to happen to me again. That is a shift that has now set a goal to make it not happen again. The same when you get somebody with abuses and they suddenly change the way they are, whether it's alcohol abuse, drug abuse, or whatever, where they hit a moment where they've hit rock bottom and said, I've got to change and do something about it. Those are the goals. Now, I've taken some that are obviously quite severe, because they're very obvious to find people that have actually done this, where they've hit a very low and gone very high. And the point being is, if they can do that, so can you if you decide to. Don't assume that there is nothing you can do about where you are today in life. You can always do something. It's a bit like if somebody wanted to be a doctor or a surgeon. Well, maybe surgeon's a bit more difficult. But the point being is, you can learn this stuff. And you may not get it the first time, the second time, or third time. But you can keep hitting it until you understand it. Because not everybody learns at the same pace. And it's a bit like mathematics. I mean, mathematics for a lot of people doesn't make any sense. I have to say, the system they have here in Valencia doesn't make any sense to me. It's bloody stupid, because you can't do it in your head, which seems completely pointless to me. I can understand the person who wrote it was crap at maths, and that's why they wrote it. But at the end of the day, somebody crap at maths shouldn't be teaching maths. That's my personal view, because they've designed a system that is easy for them, which is very long-winded, very simple, but at the same time, it's not going to help anybody learning it. But my main point being is, you can change and set goals and move life forward in any direction you want by doing it. It could be to get rid of debt. It could be to go on your first holiday overseas. It could be to buy a new car. It could be to buy your first property. But the main thing is, set your goals, map them out, get a whiteboard, do whatever you need to do to make it work. One of the things I find works well for me is a whiteboard and notebooks, visualizing it. looking at how I get from A to B, because there may be things along the way, and I sit and draw little boxes with things in there. For example, say we want to buy this property. Well, the first thing I'm going to need is a steady, regular income that has pay slips. Well, there's the first thing, job required. And the same thing, okay, minimum income required, deposit required, and all the other bits that go with it. The point is you can map it out. And the thing is, when you start mapping these out, it gives you where you need to be first. It's not a leap, but a process. And I do think it's important for a lot of people. And this is one of the things Jordan Peterson brought up, because he did a lot of analysis on there. And like he was saying, that is the major thing that people can do if they're not in a perfect position, is set goals and go for them. And I have a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. I've already mapped them out, and they do change, but the point is the goals are still there. They may have a change, for example, maybe we decided to move to Portugal from Spain, but my progression plan will still be the same. Developing new projects will still be the same. Career development will still be the same. The whole point is it doesn't need to be locked into stone, because life has this nasty habit of throwing spanners in the works. So the point being is you may want to do this by July, but be aware that car breaks down, so you've had to take on a part-time job to cover the expenses on the car, so maybe you'll skip July. But don't cancel the goal. Keep the goal in July, don't reach it, just move it to March. But do not give up on it. Just keep heading for those goals. Thanks for watching.